All right, I'm going to do a review of fractions, and at the same time, I'm going to look at like writing the equations of lines. Okay, so let's say I have 2 points, 4 comma 8 and 7 comma 13. Okay, so I have a line that goes through those 2 points. Let's find the slope. Okay, so m is going to equal 13 minus 8. I'm going to subtract the 2 y values, and I'm going to subtract the 2 x values, and I'm going to get 5/3. Okay, let's go ahead and find the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. First, I had to find the slope, and now I have to find the b value. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. I can use either point I want because we know that the line goes through both of the points. Let's just use this point. So my y value is 8. My slope is 5/3. My x value is 4. And I'm going to go ahead and find b. So this is 8 equals, okay, so first, 5/3 times 4. It's really 5/3 times 4 over 1 if you want to think about that. When we multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators and the denominators together. So it's 5 times 4 is 20, and 3 times 1 is 3. So 5/3 times 4 is 20/3. Okay? Now I have to subtract, right? Just like I always would. I'm going to move that to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to get 8 minus 20/3 is equal to b. Well, when you add and subtract fractions, they have to have common denominators. This is 20/3, so I need that to be in thirds. I'm going to multiply top and bottom. I'm going to take 8, and I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3. Okay, so it's going to be 24/3. Hopefully that makes sense. 24/3 is the same thing as 8. Remember, 3 would go into 24 8 times. So really, I'm going to rewrite this as 24/3 minus 20/3 is equal to b. Well, now they have a common denominator. 24/3 minus 20/3 is just 4/3. So b is 4/3. So now I know the slope and I know the b value. So now I can write the equation. Y equals m, the slope, 5/3, x plus b. Okay, that's the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. You know, if you graphed it, it would look what, like 4, 8, 4, 8, something like that, and 7, 13 will look something like that. If you drew that line there, it would look something like that. It'd have a slope of 5/3, and it'd have a y-intercept of 4/3. Okay, again, how do you handle fractions? All right, well, let's say I want to do something different. You know what, let's just do another example. Okay, we'll just give you a different fraction. All right, this time, let's do 2 comma 5 and 5 comma 11. Okay, let's do this one. So I want to find the slope, rise over run. So 11 minus 5, 5 minus 2. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want 6/3. Oh, I'm going to change that. Change, shift. Let's make that at 12. Let's make that at 12. That way it doesn't work out. I didn't want it to work out to a nice one, right? So this is 7/3. If it was 6/3, then it would have just been a 2, and that would have been too easy for you guys, right? The whole point of the video is to do fractions. Okay, so I'm finding the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points, and I get 7/3. So again, I have a fractional slope. So I'm going to use the slope and a point to find the b value. Let's go ahead and use this point. So y is 5, m is 7/3, and x is 2. So that's 5. 7/3 times 2 is 14/3. So then I have 5 minus 14 thirds is equal to b, right? I subtracted over. Now I need to make this thirds. 5 is the same thing as 15 thirds. Again, I multiplied top and bottom by 3. 15 thirds minus 14 thirds is just 1/3. So I know b is 1/3. But once I know m and I know b, I can write the equation. Y equals 7/3 x plus 1/3. Okay, those were two examples of using fractions and writing equations. It wouldn't have mattered whether I made these perpendicular lines or parallel lines. You know, the whole point is you have to be able to find, given 2 points, you've got to be able to find the slope. Or given an equation, you've got to be able to find the slope. Once you know the slope, you can use either point you want to find the b value. Once you know the b value, boom, you write the equation. You have to know the slope and you have to know the y-intercept to write an equation, so just find those. In this case, if the slope is a fraction and the x value doesn't like match up perfectly with that fraction, like if this is a 3 and that was a 3 or that was a 6, well then it might work out nice. But if they don't, you're going to end up with a fraction here. You're still going to move it to the other side of the equation, usually with subtraction, and then you're going to have to make a common denominator to find b. And in this case, your slope is a fraction and your y-intercept is a fraction. Okay, hopefully this helps you on some of the questions that don't work out perfect. Again, if you get a fraction, that doesn't mean you did it wrong. It's okay to get a fractional slope and a fractional b value.